got to spend money to make money. I wish I spent money on advertising to start with, especially for leads. Just spend the money and it comes back tenfold at least. We're probably sitting at like 80 to 100 with like 120 peaks. At least $250,000, 300,000 a month.
Before we started working together and where you're at now, like how many leads you're getting before, how many you get now, and like where do the leads come from?
Just anything that I'd cold call really, and word of mouth probably 15-20%.
Yeah.
And then just cold me finding them and cold calling the old school way, like letterbox deliveries and hitting up builders and whatnot.
How many jobs or like leads were you getting per month back then?
Probably say like 50, and then that would have ramped up mid last year to like, I haven't checked the numbers, but like 150 at least.
Yeah, I think Auckland does about 150 or more depending on the month, and then Christchurch has been like straight to like 80-ish.
Yeah, all of those though flow on to other ones. Like we get a lot that those leads will call a referral as well, so that generates even more, but it's obviously not captured in those stats.
Yeah, for sure. Once you get a decent job going, they come back for more drain on blocks and more work and refer you. Like, oh, do you know any good plumbers? And your foot's in the door at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the best part. You're already for one problem, and then that usually rolls on to at least one or two more with
for sure.
a handful of them.
What was the kind of main frustrations back in the day when you're doing the cold calls and stuff like that?
Just planning for growth there, to be honest. Like you can't, obviously being young and all, you don't have like all these builder mates. You know, everyone I know is either working for someone or traveling or whatever. So it's pretty hard to compete with that 30 to 50-year-old group.
Yeah.
They're usually all running a pretty tight knit. And the only time we'd manage to get in on decent jobs is if their contract screwed up. And then it's kind of like all eyes are on you. So if you make like one small mistake, you get the flick pretty quick.
Yeah.
So it'll be planning, I think. Like now we've just got all those leads, like for all three, it's just like on a tap. People can't make the on-call, just Sunday night, tap turns on and leads flow on today.
Yeah, literally at the point we can press a button.
It's wicked, yeah. You don't even need to be in the city and
and you're not
start rolling on.
Yeah, same with lots of different trades, like when you're working under the bigger companies, the frame of the relationship is like, all eyes are on you, the pressure's on. Because if you don't do a good job, then the next company is going to be straight in. Whereas with the private works or these leads, it's like a fresh relationship, so you can set it and frame it in a mutually like beneficial way.
Yeah, exactly.
Not like you're at school, like getting told off.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And did you ever try any like directory sites or lead sites?
Other than old one builders crap, back in the day when I first started at like 21 though.
Yeah.
So that obviously swings and roundabouts. There's some decent ones on there, but it's not really. It's sort of similar, but not quite the same get up.
Yeah, and how do you find dealing with these leads, given they're just like sent to you?
You definitely got to sell it. Can't leave them sitting there, but
I mean, if you're on the ball, I like answering them quickly,
But you have to be on the ball, get back to them. Like obviously trades like plumbing or electrical or whatever would be a lot higher turnover. So I'm guessing if it was like landscaping or retaining or whatnot, you probably have a much bigger buffer, a day or so or an hour at least. The leads that we're trying to get are within like, if you don't call them back within 2 minutes, they're shopping elsewhere. It's a bit of a, but definitely fits our lifestyle for sure.
Yeah, that's the nature of the emergency. What would you say to any other kind of contractor or tradie that kind of on the fence about like marketing, and are they, doing cold calls and hustling around to get things going? Like what would you say to them or say to yourself before you gave it a crack?
Jump on it. You got to spend money to make money. That age-old saying. So I wish I spent money on advertising to start with. I think a lot of trades penny pinch and think it's just a waste of time. I mean, there are a lot of lead generation places out there on marketing in general, websites and all that do fleece people, especially the big corporates like in Auckland, for example. I've had a few other contracting mates that have been fleeced big time from them, and myself when I first started a website and whatnot. But especially for leads, just spend the money and it comes back tenfold at least.
Yeah, I think before we started working together, you paid a guy like $8,000 for some SEO and $2,000, $3,000 a month. You got like 2 leads a month or 3 leads a month.
No revenue out of it.
What advice would you say to someone? Because that's a big concern for me. Starting my own business in this space was not ripping people off and making sure people are getting value. So how do you navigate that as a tradie, a business owner yourself, to not get fleeced? Like how do you minimize the risk without just not doing it at all and missing out on getting a lead generation system working?
Definitely the referrals. Like we should have done this a lot sooner, but looking back, I think it was probably Hay that got us onto this. And Shore Contracting, just seeing someone else that's you've seen around in Auckland, whereas a lot of the other stuff's like, they'll paint all these big companies and brands that they've worked with, but it's sort of a different league who they're dealing with, and that those companies probably don't really need the work. So whereas if it's a small company, well, not small companies, but any company that's relatable, especially from videos or posts or links. That definitely helps. Yeah. So I guess
Yeah.
just do the due diligence, see if they've got anyone you've recognised or not just other corporates.
Yeah, check the case studies and the referrals for sure.
Mm.
I signed up for some business coaching stuff and it was through a referral. And I was like, yeah, I trust this guy. So the marketing was good, his case studies were good.
Yeah, right.
He was speaking the same language. So I just ran it straight and got the call with him this
Yeah.
afternoon. I think it cost me
Oh,
30,000 NZ. So a bit of an investment. So yeah, to wrap up, you were in Auckland and cold calling, trying to get some leads going. And fast forward, is it about a year and a bit now?
yeah, I'd say it's a solid year.
Solid year.
Definitely like 2x the income, if not tripled it at least.
Almost tripled the income. And now we're
Well,
in.
definitely tripled the income, and it's more steady. Like we'd have peaks before, obviously in and out of bigger jobs, more on the drainage side, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot more steady.
Yeah, so we've tripled the income,
Oh,
and
you know.
now we've also tripled the locations from Auckland to now Christchurch and Wellington. So
And in theory,
after
that should triple all them. So you'll look at like at least 9x,
90 what?
at least 9x from what Auckland was 2 years ago.
In total revenue across all three chains?
Yeah.
Yeah, almost a 9x in rev.
At least. We're probably sitting at like 80 to 100 with like 120 peaks in and out of drainage, and now we're sitting at at least 250,000, 300,000 a month per branch.
Yeah. I see. No, sweet.
We're not stopping there.
No, got to get
It's only just getting started. We're just giving it a trial before.
Just doing a trial, yeah. Just testing the waters, getting the feet wet.
Doing a trial, yeah.
No, sweet as, bro. Well, just jumping on and we'll crack on with the next location.